Martial has to start. Jose Mourinho was specifically asked about Anthony Martial but focused on the collective rather than the individual. Lukaku, Martial and Rashford are all different players and we need everybody and it's going to be good. It's going to be fun to choose the team for every match, he said at his post-match press conference. After 7 stellar showings, Martial might have earned a starting spot in next week's Premier League opener against West Ham. The club's pursuit of Ivan Perisic appears to have galvanized him to the point Martial is speaking English on camera and, again, his wing play versus Sampdoria was direct and penetrative. Notably, he is not merely cutting inside onto his right foot anymore. The Frenchman's running was more purposeful and his body language is not as negative as it was at times last term. None of United's other wide men have performed at Martial's level during the pre-season and, as United's only specialist winger, it would be illogical to omit him from the 11. Pogba in captain mode. Nobody has excited the United hordes abroad over the last month quite like Paul Pogba. After another crowd-pleasing 45 minutes, he was wrapped up in cotton wool as his importance to United continued to grow. United ratings: 2 players get 810 but 2 get 5. Pogba has donned the armband a few times over the last month and seems to have supplanted Ander Herrera as the de facto leader of Mourinho's United. It feels inevitable he will officially succeed Michael Carrick in the role next year, and however meaningless pre-season is, Pogba has been building momentum since April and should carry that into the new campaign next week. Perplexed Andreas Pereira has enjoyed an uplifting month back in the United setup and the promise in central midfield where he has spent his playing time is obvious. He is prompt on the ball and assertive, mimicking Ander Herrera's tenacity at times. In Ireland, Pereira was clouded with uncertainty next to Nemanja Matic. Pereira was previously the designated holder but with the specialist Matic beside him the Brazilian struggled to handle the balance between defense and attack and rarely impressed on the ball. Matic shows United why they signed him. Ventures Valencia just over a year to the day since he left, United supporters rubbing their eyes in disbelief with a couple of assists against Galatasaray. Antonio Valencia somehow ended the win over Sampdoria without a credit to his name. Henrik Mkhitaryan spurned 2 good opportunities from Valencia centers and this was the kind of performance the Ecuadorian should provide more often. Fresh after being rested for the Valerenga trip, Valencia's rip-roaring surge sparked a stirring counter which set the tone for a high-tempo outing down the right and his impetus was so high he was the only United outfielder to play out the entire match. Mourinho makes shock Neymar transfer admission. Defense remains a concern. There was some progress for Victor Lindelof, Chris Smalling and Daley Blind, a trio that was hooked at the interval in 2 of United's stateside games last month as they stayed on beyond halftime in Dublin. Mourinho heavily hinted at a back 3 against Real Madrid next Tuesday with his setup but he might have to reconsider. Blind's poor pre-season almost included a spectacular own goal. Smalling assisted Sampdoria's equalizer and Lindelof was jittery again in what was an insignificant encounter. United mulled over signing a second half a year ago and there is arguably a stronger case for another this summer. Get all the latest Manchester United news first with our new app. Download it here now.